SpongeGex here. I just got done watching Zootopia 2 in theaters. Now, before I get started, I just want to say that I love the first Zootopia movie. It has been my favorite Disney movie within the past decade. Zootopia and Moana were the last great movies that Disney made, while Raya and the Last Dragon was their last good movie, in my opinion at least. So, lately, I have lost a lot of respect for modern Disney. I am just not a fan of their half-baked live-action remakes. The last live-action remake I saw was the Pinocchio remake, and after that, I just boycotted all live-action Disney remakes. I refuse to even hate watch them. I just don't want to support them. I don't want Disney to have the idea that I want to see more of this. It's like, that's the problem with people who hate watch this stuff. It's like it gives Disney the impression that people are paying to see this, and I refuse to watch things that I know I'm not gonna like. I'm tired of their reliance on sequels, and even their new original films aren't doing it for me. I did not like Encanto, I hated Wish, and I have no interest in watching Moana 2, based on its troubled and rushed production, along with how horrible people claimed it was. So, come on, they're already making a live action remake of Moana, and it's coming out in 2026? What the heck? The movie isn't even 10 years old yet. I was a bit worried about Zootopia 2, based on Disney's current track record. The teaser trailer for the film was admittedly kind of bad. It really didn't give people an idea of what this movie's about, except that there's a snake and the two main characters are possibly fugitives, and then it also teases a villain who doesn't even show up in the movie, so it made me lose all hype for this movie. The first official trailer, on the other hand, was a little bit better. It still had some Groner-worthy moments, like the dumb scene with the beaver and walrus going, "Hey bub," back and forth. Yeah, that was really stupid. It didn't make me laugh or smile at all. But it was even confirmed by someone at Disney that they were requested to focus on making Zootopia 2 funnier. Now that had me very worried, because the first movie was remembered for more than its laughs. So I feared that they were really going to dumb the sequel down. To make matters worse, I saw how Disney World's Animal Kingdom just replaced its historic 4D film attraction, It's Tough to Be a Bug, based on A Bug's Life, and they replaced it with a new Zootopia themed show called Better Zootopia, and longtime park fans hated it. It felt too safe. I even saw an upload of the film on YouTube, and yeah, I gotta agree, it really hurts to see Zootopia characters treated like entertainers for little kids and preschoolers. The original Zootopia film may have been a family film, but it had some dark and mature moments. With a lot of uncertainty, I went into Zootopia 2 telling myself, okay, I have been very unhappy with Disney lately. I've been avoiding many of their films because I know that they will not entertain me. They've really lost their touch. I'll give Disney one last chance, because I really like the first Zootopia. I told myself, if Zootopia 2 ends up disappointing me, then I am done with modern Disney. I will never see another movie or show from them again. So I went into Zootopia 2 with a lot of worry, feeling like many years of being a Disney fan could finally come to an end. I watched the movie, and I really enjoyed the movie. Granted, I still think the first movie is a lot better, but this was a fun sequel. It had a few pacing issues, it went by a lot faster than the original film, not every joke lands. The film does a lot of hand-holding, like having characters pointing out that they're the good guys or someone's the bad guys. Some moments in dialogue did feel forced, but the story was overall enjoyable and the visuals were pretty gorgeous. It did get pretty suspenseful towards the end. The first movie tackled the theme of prejudice, which mirrored the political climate of that time, and sadly it is still relevant today. The sequel tackles another political issue that is still ongoing, unfortunately: mistreatment of immigrants and corrupt rich people trying to erase history. The sequel introduces more creatures that were not shown in the first movie, including reptiles and sea mammals. I admittedly thought that if they ever made a sequel, they should introduce reptiles, sea creatures, and birds, and have a message about immigrants. And yep, some of that does in fact happen in the movie. Unfortunately, there are no birds, but there is an after credit scene, and it does tease that if we get a third movie, there will be birds. I'm pretty sure there is going to be a third one. The movie opens up right after the events of the first movie, recapping the moment where Bellwether got arrested, moving forward to her trial, and then we cut to a year later after Judy and Nick became police partners, so basically their police partner anniversary. Nick and Judy rush off without authorization to investigate an anteater named Anthony Sutley, voiced by John Leguizamo, the voice of Sid the Sloth. He is supposedly importing illegal goods. Nick and Judy end up busting Anthony in the act, leading to a crazy car chase. creating a lot of damage to the city of Zootopia. From the back of the Anteater's truck pops out a snake named Gary, voiced by Ke Huy Quan, the man who played Short Round in Temple of Doom when he was a little boy. So he ends up leaving a piece of his shedded skin, which Judy takes as evidence. And it's kind of ironic for Kay to voice a character who happens to be the same creature that Indiana Jones is afraid of. Kind of funny. Not sure if that was the intention, but that's just something I picked up on. So we learned that reptiles are illegal immigrants in Zootopia. They are not allowed there. And that kind of explains why you never saw them in the original film. And that's exactly why I said if they ever made a sequel, they should focus on immigration, because that would perfectly explain why they weren't there in the first one. And luckily, that's exactly what the sequel did. It didn't go fully as I planned, but I liked how there were a lot of thoughts I had for how a sequel should go, and it was kind of rewarding to see that stuff end up in the film. So, Chief Bogo punishes Nick and Judy for their insubordination by forcing the two to participate in a cop partner therapy session, or he'll separate the two from working out on the field. Yeah, Disney is really teasing the fans who ship Nick and Judy in this film. The film never shows the two getting romantically involved, but it leaves so many subliminal messages across the film, from the two going undercover as a couple, the two constantly referring to the day they partnered up as their anniversary, to even having the two dress up all fancy as they go undercover at a gala later in the film. So, the film is, of course, setting up a lot of foreshadowing that despite how Nick and Judy are good friends who claim that everything is fine between them, they have a lot of unresolved issues that they need to overcome. Throughout the movie, they have differing points of views that upset each other, and it all could have been avoided if they were just open with each other and talked things out. Now, I thought this cliche would get really tiring. It's like, oh boy, there's going to be a split-up act in this movie, isn't there? Those are always fun to sit through, aren't they? And not to mention that they already went through similar arcs in the first movie, so it kind of concerned me at first. But luckily, the movie handled their scenes pretty well. Without going into spoilers, there does in fact come a point where their partnership is really pushed to its limit, and it does lead to a heartbreaking moment, where the two end up separated halfway through the movie. But their development afterwards was pretty good and emotional. So I can't stay mad at them for going through with that cliche, because it led to something good. So Judy begins piecing together that the snake who left its skin behind is possibly trying to steal an important journal by the founder of Zootopia. It's said that Zootopia was invented by a lynx who kept Zootopia's important history and secrets in a journal. The founder's descendant, Milton Lynxley, and his rich family are holding a special gala event to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Zootopia's weather system's installation. Nick and Judy go undercover again against Chief Bogo's orders to make sure that no one tries stealing the journal at the gala. Gary the snake steals the journal as Judy chases after him and has him cornered. Gary pleads to Judy that he's not a bad guy and he just wants to clear the bad names of reptiles. He claims the journal has the answers he needs. He's doing all this so he and his family can finally be together again. Nick interrupts Gary by knocking him out with a frying pan. Milton Lynxley shows up and orders his servants to kill Gary by throwing him into the fireplace, while trying to blackmail Judy into writing a false police report that claims that the snake tried attacking her. Chief Bogo barges in to confront Nick and Judy, but a freak accident causes one of Gary's fangs to pop out of his mouth like a dart, and it hits Bogo right in the head. Judy pulls the fang out of Bogo's head. The police show up, thinking that Nick and Judy are accomplices to the snake, along with thinking that Judy attempted killing Chief Bogo with a snake fang. Nick and Judy are framed as fugitives, as Judy grabs the journal, and the three try running away, but Nick and Judy end up getting taken by the mob boss, Mr. Big, from the first movie. So he tries protecting them since they helped him in the first movie. He gives them fake IDs and aliases to go into hiding with. Nick wants to go with that plan, but Judy wants to do the right thing and try clearing their names along with helping Gary and the reptiles. Judy and Nick end up adventuring to the slums of Marshtown to try finding a conspiracy online influencer named Nibbles the Beaver, since she claims to be an expert on reptiles. Now at first, especially judging by the trailer, I thought I was going to hate this character. I thought she was kind of annoying in the trailer. But luckily, she was a decent character overall, got a few chuckles, and she ended up being very useful later on in the film. So, Nibbles decides to take Nick and Judy to an underground reptile bar to meet her friend Jesus the Basilisk Lizard, voiced by Danny Trejo. Judy wants to see if he can shed some light on the journal and its connection with reptiles. The bar then gets invaded by the cops as Gary swoops in to take the journal. Nick and Judy chase after the snake while also getting chased by the cops. And that's as far as I'll go with the story. For the rest delves into heavy spoiler territory. Now, overall, I really did enjoy this movie. It was fun to see Nick and Judy doing more undercover work, even if the movie left me wanting to see them doing more cop work. I mean, they're fugitives throughout most of the film, so you don't get a whole lot of scenes of them being cops, unfortunately, but their scenes together were still pretty good. It was neat to see more of the backstory on the creation of Zootopia, along with seeing more of the world and creatures outside of Zootopia, like the slums of Marshtown. The people there are struggling to live and are under the threat of having their homes bought out and demolished by the Linksley family. With how tough it is for a lot of immigrants and minorities right now, it kind of hurts how painfully accurate this movie mirrors the real world right now. I kind of wish the movie took its time more to flesh out its world building, because this movie goes at a pretty fast pace. Even the opening intro at the Disney Castle is shortened in this movie. I mean, God, it's rushing so fast that even the intro is rushed. So, it's like the movie is too afraid to slow down and take a breath every once in a while. You do get a few slower scenes towards the end of the movie, but I just felt like a lot of scenes are going by way too fast. For instance, the way the villain gets defeated felt kind of abrupt and anticlimactic, not really well paced at all. So the movie, it has a lot of predictable scenes, but it still managed to subvert expectations. I mean, there's a twist villain in this movie that was actually unexpected for once. Funny, because the new mayor of the film was a horse voiced by Patrick Warburton. Everyone online was guessing, oh boy, he's going to be the twist villain, isn't he? But thank goodness the movie did not make him a villain in the end. He was just an egotistical dimwit overall. So I do consider the original Zootopia a 10 out of 10 movie. I'm sad to say that I don't consider Zootopia 2 a perfect score, but I'll say it was good enough to warrant at least an 8.5 out of 10. It didn't quite capture the excitement, emotion, or brilliant pacing of the first movie, but it was still a fun and heartwarming time. That's all I have to show for now. Thank you for watching, see you next time, and have a great day.